Have you ever felt a deep, silent hum beneath the noise of your life? A memory of a frequency you can't quite place? It's a feeling that something essential has been lost, not in the world around you, but within you. In our modern world, we are constantly pulled in 1,000 directions by notifications, expectations, and the relentless pursuit of things that never seem to fill the void. Yet, this feeling of inner dissonance, of being slightly out of tune with reality, is not a modern problem. It is an ancient echo. It's the whisper of a forgotten harmony, a memory of a different state of being that your soul vaguely recalls but cannot name. This feeling is a compass, pointing you not to something new, but to something ancient that has been waiting patiently to be remembered. Today, we are not here to study history from a book. We are here to listen to its echo. We will journey into the world of the Mayan kings, not as rulers of stone and gold, but as guardians of something far more precious. We will speak of what I call the vibration codes. These were not written laws or secret languages, but a living frequency they embodied and protected, a state of consciousness that aligned the human heart with the rhythm of the cosmos. In this video, you will discover what these codes truly were and understand what the Maya were so desperately trying to protect. It wasn't a kingdom from invaders. It was the very frequency of human consciousness from being forgotten. If this idea of a forgotten frequency resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. This channel is a sanctuary for these quiet conversations, a place to talk about the things we feel but rarely say out loud. Your experiences are part of this ancient story. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our explorations into the knowledge that sleeps within us all. Here we remember together. In the Mayan tradition, there is a simple and profound greeting, in Lakek Alakin. Most will tell you it means, I am another you, but its true meaning is far deeper. It is a statement of vibrational reality. It means, the energy that animates me is the same energy that animates you. This wasn't just a poetic phrase. It was the foundational principle of their entire worldview. It was a daily reminder that every person, every plant, every star was a unique expression of the same universal consciousness. To live by this code was to live in harmony. To forget it was to create separation and suffering. This single phrase is the key to understanding the very vibration they were protecting. Now, let us quiet the outside world for a moment. Let us go deeper, beyond the stone ruins and faded glyphs, and listen for the hum of this ancient knowledge. Let's explore what these vibration codes truly were and why protecting them is still important for you right now in this very moment. Block 1. The king as an antenna, not a ruler. We have been taught to see kings and leaders through a lens of power and control. We imagine them on elevated thrones, issuing commands, managing economies, and waging wars. This image of the ruler as the ultimate ego, the grand commander of the material world, is deeply etched into our modern consciousness. But to understand the Mayan kings, you must let this image dissolve like mist in the morning sun. The true Mayan king, the Kuhula Jaw or Holy Lord, was not primarily a commander, but a conduit. His most profound duty was not to rule, but to resonate. He was, in essence, a living, breathing antenna, exquisitely calibrated to receive and transmit the subtle frequencies of the cosmos. Imagine a great, ancient tree whose roots delve deep into the darkness of the earth, drawing sustenance and stability from the unseen world below, what they called Zabalba. And imagine its branches reaching high into the heavens, touching the light of the sun and stars, gathering the energy of the cosmos, what they called Kai. The king was this tree. His consciousness had to be rooted in the deep, instinctual wisdom of the earth while simultaneously remaining open to the highest frequencies of cosmic intelligence. His body was the trunk, the bridge between these worlds, and his heart was the point where heaven and earth met and transformed their energies for the benefit of his people, the world of the living Cab. His entire life was a rigorous, unending process of keeping this channel clear. Every meal he ate, every word he spoke, every thought he entertained was either a way of tuning the instrument or introducing static into the signal. The great enemy of the king was not a rival kingdom, but his own inner noise, his personal pride, his fear, his attachments, his desires. These were the forces that could corrupt the signal, that could cause him to mistake his own ego's voice for the voice of the divine. This is why Mayan art so often depicts rulers in states of trance, interacting with visionary serpents or cosmic entities. These were not fantasies. They were depictions of the vibrational realities they were tasked with navigating. The serpent was the embodiment of the life force, the Ku that flowed from the heart of the galaxy. To be a true king was to be able to dance with this serpent, to channel its power without being consumed by it. This stands in stark contrast to the leadership of your modern world, which is so often focused on external metrics, polls, profits, productivity. The Mayan king's primary metric was internal, clarity. Was the channel clear? Was the heart pure? Was the connection to the sacred rhythm strong? When the answer was yes, the kingdom thrived in a state of tzak, a word that means balance, order, and wholeness. The rains would come, the corn would grow, and the people would feel secure, not because the king was a great general, but because he was a perfect resonator. He wasn't protecting a border of land. He was protecting the vibrational integrity of his civilization's soul. Block 2. The sacred calendar as a rhythmic map. In your world, the calendar is a cage. It is a sterile grid of empty boxes that you fill with tasks, deadlines, and obligations. It is a tool of linearity, designed to measure your progress in a relentless race from a beginning to an end. It flattens time into a uniform, gray road, ignoring the vibrant, cyclical energies that truly govern life. This is why you feel such exhaustion. You are fighting a current you have been taught to ignore. The Maya understood time in a profoundly different way. For them, time was not a line but a spiral. It did not march forward. It danced in intricate, repeating cycles of energy. The sacred calendar, the Tzolk'in of 260 days, was their greatest masterpiece of consciousness. It was not a tool for managing time, but a map for navigating energy. It was a divine piece of sheet music for the symphony of existence. Imagine the universe as a grand orchestra. The sun provides the steady, powerful drumbeat. The moon is the deep, resonant bass, pulling on the tides of both the oceans and your own emotions. The visible planets, Venus, Jupiter, are the melodic instruments, each adding its own unique tone and influence. The Tzolk'in was the conductor's score for this orchestra. Each day was a unique chord, a combination of one of 20 sacred sun signs and one of 13 cosmic tones. This created 260 distinct energetic signatures. A day could be one Amix, the primordial energy of creation, a perfect day to begin something new. Another could be 10 Kame, the energy of gentle transformation and release, a day to let go of what no longer serves you. To live by this calendar was to live in a state of grace, to move in harmony with the cosmos. It was to know when to plant the seed, when to build the house, when to rest and reflect, and when to act with courage. It was an intuitive science of right timing. It was the understanding that your personal energy is not separate from the universal energy. On a day with a strong creative frequency, you would naturally feel more inspired. On a day of introspection, you would find it easier to access your inner wisdom. The vibration codes were, in large part, this deep, embodied knowledge of cosmic rhythm. The kings protected this calendar with their lives, for to lose it was to become deaf to the music of the spheres. It was to lose the rhythm of life itself and begin the frantic, exhausting struggle of moving against the universal tide. The pervasive anxiety of your time is the echo of a civilization that has lost its sacred rhythm. Block 3, the temples as resonance chambers. Look at the great pyramids of the Maya, rising like mountains of human intention from the green sea of the jungle. Your world calls them ruins, monuments to a dead civilization. They are seen as tombs for kings or stages for public spectacles. But they are so much more. These structures are not dead stone. They are dormant technology. They are colossal musical instruments, vast resonance chambers designed and engineered with a masterful understanding of physics that your science is only beginning to rediscover. These were not merely buildings, they were tools for vibrational engineering. The Mayan architects were masters of acoustics, sacred geometry, and geology. They knew that form influences energy. The precise angles of a pyramid's slope, the number of its steps corresponding to the days in the calendar, the specific alignment with the solstices or the path of Venus. None of this was arbitrary or purely symbolic. It was functional. The famous pyramid of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza is a perfect example. A hand clap at its base produces an echo that mimics the chirp of the sacred Quetzal bird. This was not a clever trick. It was a demonstration of principle. It was a way of making the unseen, vibrational nature of reality audible. It was a message encoded in stone and sound. This place transforms energy. Furthermore, they built these structures with conscious intent. Many temples are located directly above cenotes, the underwater caves and rivers that form a vast, subterranean network. They understood that flowing water creates a powerful energy field, and they built their temples to tap into and amplify this terrestrial charge. They used limestone, a sedimentary rock formed from the skeletal remains of countless sea creatures, a stone literally composed of the memory of life. When a ritual was performed, the temple itself became an active participant. The stone, the water below, the geometry of the structure, and the alignment with the stars all worked in concert. The king, standing at the focal point of this energetic matrix, did not need to shout. His focused intention, expressed through chant and prayer, would be amplified by the chamber. The resonance would ripple outwards, through the city and into the surrounding lands, subtly reinforcing the frequency of harmony and balance. The temples were the heart of the vibrational kingdom, pumping the lifeblood of cosmic energy through the community. They were the tuning forks that kept the entire civilization from falling into dissonance. They protected them not as stone forts, but as vital organs in the living body of their culture. Block 4. The ritual as energetic tuning. The modern mind often recoils when it encounters the rituals of the ancient world. You read of bloodletting, of sacrifice, of trance states, and you may label it as primitive, barbaric, or superstitious. This judgment arises from a worldview that has separated the physical from the energetic, the material from the spiritual. Your world has been taught to fear and dismiss what it cannot see and measure. But for the Maya, the unseen world of spirit and energy was the cause, and the physical world was the effect. Their rituals were not superstition. They were a form of applied spiritual science. Think of it as energetic hygiene. Just as you maintain your physical body, they understood the need to maintain their energetic and spiritual bodies, both individually and collectively. Chanting, for example, is a universal human technology. It is far more than prayer set to music. Specific vowel sounds and incantations create precise frequencies. When chanted by a group, these sound waves can induce altered states of consciousness, calm the nervous system, and create a field of coherent energy that can be felt by all participants. It literally tunes the human body back to a state of harmony. The burning of sacred resins, like copal, was another tool. On a physical level, the smoke has antimicrobial properties. On an energetic level, it was believed to cleanse the atmosphere of dissonant or heavy energies, much like you would open a window to let in fresh air. The fragrant smoke was also seen as a conduit, a visible prayer carrying the community's intentions to the spirit world. And yes, the ritual of royal bloodletting. To understand this, you must release your modern notions. Blood, to them, was the ultimate carrier of life force, of an individual's spiritual essence. For a king to offer a few drops of his own sacred blood, often from the tongue, the source of spoken truth, or the ears, the organs of listening, was the most profound act of reciprocity. It was a physical manifestation of in lakesh ala kin. He was saying to the cosmos, "You give me life. You give my people life. In humility and gratitude, I offer a piece of my own life force back to you, to feed the sacred cycle and reaffirm our covenant." It was not an act of violence, but an act of supreme connection. It was the king dissolving his own boundary to become one with the divine, ensuring the flow of life continued. These rituals were the practical, hands-on methods they used to physically adjust and maintain the vibration of their world. Block 5. The loss of the code, a fading frequency. If this vibrational knowledge was so powerful, why did their civilization fall? Historians will point to drought, to warfare between city-states, to disease, to ecological collapse. And on a physical level, all of these things happened. They are the final footprints of the story, but they are not the story itself. The true collapse happened first on the inside. It was a spiritual decay. It was the slow, tragic loss of the frequency. Imagine a beautiful, complex symphony that has been playing for 1,000 years. It is the music that holds the world together. The kings and priests are the conductors and lead musicians. But over time, some of them grow tired. Some become more interested in the prestige of being a musician than in the music itself. Some begin to play from memory, losing the feeling and intention behind the notes. A small dissonance creeps in, then another. The static grows. The static, in real terms, was the rise of individual ego over collective purpose. It was a king making a decision from a place of fear or greed instead of from a clear, resonant connection. It was a priest interpreting the sacred calendar mechanically, without the intuitive wisdom to understand its true meaning. It was the sound of political ambition drowning out the quiet hum of cosmic truth. This inner dissonance, this fading of the signal, then began to manifest in the physical world. A king driven by ego makes a poor alliance. A people who have lost their connection to the rhythms of nature overfarm the land. A society that has lost its inner harmony becomes susceptible to conflict and disease. The outer world is always a mirror of the inner world. The droughts and wars were not the cause of the collapse. They were the reflection of a spiritual drought, a war within the soul of the civilization. They were not ultimately conquered by outside forces. They were undone by the slow, creeping static from within. The code they were protecting was fragile, requiring immense discipline and purity of heart to maintain. And when too many of them forgot the music, the symphony fell silent, and the structure it supported crumbled into ruin. It serves as a timeless, sobering reminder. The greatest threat to any civilization is not an external enemy, but the loss of its own inner connection to meaning and harmony. Block 6. The sleeping code within you. And so, this story, which seems to be about ancient kings and fallen temples, arrives now at your own doorstep. It is a story about you, because this vibration code was never destroyed. Cannot be. It is a fundamental aspect of consciousness itself. It was not lost. It simply fell silent. It became dormant, waiting for a new time and a new kind of vessel to awaken it. That seed of knowledge is not buried under the jungle floor. It is buried in the deepest part of your own being. It is a resonant memory that exists within your spiritual DNA. That feeling we spoke of at the very beginning, that quiet hum you can't quite place, that sense of a forgotten home, that ache of disconnection, that is not a flaw in your design. It is the code itself, stirring in its sleep. It is your soul remembering its native frequency. It is a homing signal calling you back to yourself. The ancient Maya saw each human as a microcosm of the universe. Within you right now is the sun of your awareness, the moon of your emotions, the earth of your physical body. Within you is the potential for perfect, resonant harmony, and the potential for noisy, painful chaos. The constant demands of your world, the endless stream of digital distraction, the chorus of voices telling you who you should be, this is the modern static. It is designed, intentionally or not, to keep you from hearing the subtle music playing within you. In the past, the great responsibility of maintaining the collective frequency fell upon a few specialized individuals, the kings. That era has passed. We are now in an age of decentralization, an age of individual sovereignty. The great work is no longer external, but internal. The task of guarding the flame has been passed from the hands of kings into the hearts of every person who is willing to listen. The responsibility to tune the instrument, to clear the channel, and to broadcast a frequency of clarity and compassion is now yours. You are the guardian of the code that lives within you. You are the holy lord of your own inner kingdom. So we have journeyed through this ancient mystery. We have seen that the Mayan kings were guardians of a sacred vibration, a harmony between humanity and the cosmos. What can we do with this knowledge now, in a world that seems to have forgotten this music entirely? The answer is not to build pyramids or practice bloodletting. The answer is to adopt the principle behind their actions. It is to begin the work of tuning your own instrument. This is not a complex task requiring secret knowledge. It begins with simple, radical acts of inner listening. It means finding moments of stillness in your day, not to be productive or to figure things out, but simply to feel. To notice your own inner state. Are you in a state of resonance or a state of dissonance? Let that feeling be your guide, your own personal tzolk'in. This is a journey from knowing to remembering. You can read 100 books about spirituality, but the real transformation happens when you begin to feel the truth of it in your own body. Find your rhythm. For you, it may not be the cycle of the sun, but the cycle of your own breath. It may be spending time in nature, away from the artificial frequencies of the city, and letting the rhythm of the forest recalibrate your own. It is about understanding that you are not separate from the world around you. The same energy that turns the tides and grows the trees flows through you. To remember this is to begin broadcasting your own clear signal, your own authentic frequency into the world. You become your own Ahau, the guardian of your inner kingdom. You are not alone in this search. Millions of souls across the planet are feeling this same pull, this same quiet call to remember. The path of tuning your own inner world can feel solitary at times, especially when the world around you is so loud. But know this, every time you choose stillness over noise, every time you trust your intuition over outside opinions, every time you honor the quiet truth in your heart, you are doing the sacred work. You are tending to the fire that the Mayan kings sought to protect. Your inner truth is not an illusion. It is the most real thing you have. It is your connection to the eternal. And even if the journey is difficult, even if you feel lost in the static, remember that this process of retuning is the very purpose of the path. It is the great work of our time. When all the noise of the world finally fades away, what ancient rhythm does your own heart beat to?